Shields up, Paladins, and welcome to a For Honor Hero Guide. As you can tell by the title of this video, I'll be talking to you all about the Shugoki and how I like to use this particular character. The Shugoki is one of the heavy characters within the Samurai faction. He has an easy difficulty rating, as well as he is a hard hitter and a disabler. His base stats are his health is set to 140, his stamina is set to 120, and his sprint speed is set to 5.05 milliseconds, with his Oni charge being at 8.4 milliseconds. With all this being said and done, let's go ahead and jump right on over to his feats, with his tier 1 feats being Speed Revive, which is a passive ability, rapidly revive fallen teammates, Iron Lungs, which is a passive ability, you can still sprint when out of stamina, and Throw Farther, which is a passive ability, which is simply you throw enemies farther. His tier 2 feats are Rock Steady, which is a passive ability, you cannot be unbalanced by parries and throws, Smoke Bomb, which is grant or gain stealth, speed, and unblockable, foes get blind and cannot lock, and also Juggernaut. You're slowed and gain high damage reduction, slippery, and uninterruptible. His tier 3 feats are Punch Through, which is a passive ability, damaged on blocked attacks, Longbow, which is fire a longbow for moderate damage, and Hard to Kill, which is a passive ability, losing health increases your damage reduction. And finally, for his tier 4 feats, we have Staggering Blow, which is heavy attacks and throws knock enemies and allies down. Arrow Storm, which is an aerial attack that deals medium damage in multiple areas. And finally, Regenerate, which is a passive ability, regenerate your health when out of combat. Now for the Goki, there's a lot of different things that I've seen a lot of people use. Speed Revive is good, specifically if you stack that with Rising Dawn. Rising Dawn is a perk that you can get for the Shugoki that helps you get 75% more. Whenever you revive somebody, they get 75% more health, so that could be good. Plus, you can also revive them quicker, so that's also a plus there. If you are going for, instead of a revive or you're going to be playing as a passive tank or a passive heavy, as I like to call them, I personally like to go with Throw Farther, just simply because he has that Oni grab. That you can counter a lot of attacks with, and also now, back when the Goki was first released, you know, every time he went for that Oni grab, he would lose health. Now that's not the case. He does not lose health anymore, but you know, if you do roll out of the way, he is now kind of stuck for a second, and that's kind of the counter thing with him now. So for me, I would go with Throw Farther, just because you can simply just throw him into a wall, guarantee the grab, or throw him into a wall and guarantee a heavy. Either way you want to go with it. So that's what I would pick. Again, Speed Revive is another good pick for that if you're going with the Rising Dawn side of things for the perk. Now his tier 2, almost every single body for the Shugoki will run Rock Steady. I am one of those people. Again, Rock Steady, you cannot be unbalanced by parries and throws. This also includes when people go into Revenge. You will not be, you will not fall down from that. So you can keep that in mind while going with it. Now there are a couple exceptions to Rock Steady. As I talked with the Aramusha, I'll mention the same things here. That the Jormungandr seems to have a little bit more leeway with Rock Steady. Even though that you have it, you can still take the punishment from a Jormungandr. Right now, the Jormungandr is the only character right now that can do that to anybody that is running Rock Steady. So do keep this in mind. So you kind of still have to play a little bit more defensive or aggressive depending on how the other person is playing. But mostly with everybody else, you don't have to worry about that. So even with the Centurion, even if you pop Revenge or anything like that, a Centurion can still knock you down. But even with Rocksteady being on the Shugoki and everything like that, you still don't have to worry. It's he'll instantly stand right back up like nothing's wrong. I really don't see Shugokis run Smoke Bomb. I think I've seen maybe one or two in the time that I've been playing this game. A couple run Juggernauts, but really it depends on what type of game you're playing. Again, I play more type of Breach and Dominion, so Juggernaut for me is not really good unless I am specifically going to stay on a point. Then that could be beneficial, but more or less Rocksteady would be the way to go. And again, it's a passive ability, so you always have it on you. Now, Tier 3, this one I've seen a lot, so this one's almost user choice, if you will. Me personally, I like to go with hard to kill. Simply because, again, losing health, that means I'm getting a bigger damage reduction from that. On top of that, with the perks that I'm using, which is Bastion, Vengeful Barrier, and Last Stand. So I'm also already getting another damage reduction on top of that. So pretty much with my Shugoki, I'm playing as, yeah, I'm the big, I'm heavy, and I'm going to hurt. I want to use my hyper armor to my advantage, my throw farther to get the Onin grabs on you to get some health back if I need it, and everything like that. So that's the reason why I personally like hard to kill. I see some newer Shugokis like running longbow. To me, again, if you are paying attention to kind of your surroundings and to how the game is going, you can dodge out a longbow pretty easily. It does, again, it says it does moderate damage, which it kind of does. I think it does, if I'm not mistaken, either 30 or 40 damage. But if you're paying attention, you can dodge out of the way of longbow, so there's really no point in even really running it. Punch through, in my opinion now, it really needs to be taken out of the game. And the reason why I say that is back then, you could actually kill somebody with punch through, but now they have made it so where that you can only get them down to 1 HP and you cannot take them down any further if you have punch through on or not. And that was kind of the main purpose of it. You know, if you got someone that's constantly sitting there blocking, you want to have a little bit of extra damage, you know, to go through their blocked attacks or through your blocked attacks, and that would eventually kill them. Everyone would run it. Now they nerfed it, so really there's no point in running it anymore. The way that hard to kill would be a better perk, in my personal, or a better feat, in my personal opinion. Now, finally, for his tier 4, I have Staggering Blow. The reason why I have Staggering Blow is that with Regenerate, even though that it is a passive ability, you have to be out of combat. So if there is a full team fight going on, a 4v4, and you get hurt pretty bad, you have to get out of the fight before you can heal. So that right there is not very good. I mean, unless you are setting up on points, you know, you're not really with a team or anything like that, then yes. Like if you're playing Dominion, for an example, or even Breach for that example. If you're trying to stay up on the points or stay with a big guy, at that point Regenerate would be good, but 9 out of 10 times you're constantly going to be fighting. So then really Regenerate's not going to be that good for you. Arrow Storm, user choice. Me personally, I don't like it, just because it takes too long to cast, and once people see that it's coming, you can dodge out of the way, and it really doesn't do that much damage to you. So, really, in my personal opinion, use your choice on that one, but I like to go with Staggering Blow, simply because with Staggering Blow, that means if anyone is on your team, they can benefit from this. The Centurion can do his Pounce, the Jormungandr can do their Punish to whenever someone is on the ground. That does 50 damage there. Pretty much the Raider can do top heavies. That takes people out pretty quickly. The only counter benefit to this is that you have to watch out where you swing. You're going to knock down your teammates as well. Now that's the balance of that particular feat, in my personal opinion. I play, of course, with a couple buddies. They know whenever I'm playing against the Shugoki to kind of stay away, because I'm constantly going to be throwing out heavies. Even if you block the heavy with staggering blow, you're still going to get knocked down. So that is what I personally like to use on my Shugoki as in feats. Now for perks, as I said earlier, Bastion Invincible Barrier Last Stand is what I use as some perks. If you're trying to change it up a little bit, you can definitely use with Speed Revive. You can use I think it's Rising Dawn. So you can change out one of those with Rising Dawn or however you see fit. But in my personal opinion, that is the best perk setup that you can possibly get. Now, with all that being said and done, let's go ahead and jump right over to his hero specific stuff. So up on the screen right now, you're going to see the hero tactics. So what the hero tactics wants to teach you about the Shugoki and everything like that. Pretty straightforward. Nothing really too difficult there. And really with his hero specific stuff, really it's pretty much straightforward as well. I'll talk about that while you're watching that up on the screen. So you're learning the combos that the game wants to teach you and everything like that. So of course you are a heavy. So with Renown, you get more by assisting or saving heroes and defending objectives to unlock your feats in a match. You benefit more from people actually stealing your kills than anything else. So do keep that in mind. Revenge mode, again, boost damage and health. All attacks are uninterruptible. Parries and throws knock enemies down. Attacks are auto-parried upon activation. Uninterruptible stance attacks. All of the Shugoki's moves except for Headbutt have uninterruptible stance during the startup. Charge of the Yoni also has uninterruptible stance during the startup and the recovery of the move. So enhanced lights, light attacks are not light attacks are not interrupted if blocked, but this does not apply when blocked by a superior block. Charged heavy attacks. Shugoki can initiate a charged heavy attack with any of his attacks by holding the heavy button or heavy attack button. A charging heavy attack has slightly increased damage and is unblockable. The charging phase. A charging heavy attack has two phases, as it has to enter the second phase shown by the unblockable sign for the heavy attack to receive the charging heavy property. If the attack is only in the first phase when released, the Shugoki will initiate a normal heavy attack. So charging heavy attack, chain end. Charging heavy attacks cannot be chained into another move. Pretty much you use that to kind of finish off your combo and then kind of wait to go to your next one. Charging heavy attack cancel. Charging heavy attacks can be canceled. Since we're all PS4, this would be circle or the guard break button to initiate the Demon's Embrace. Both can be performed even after the charging attack has become unblockable. Headbutt follow-ups. After performing a headbutt, Shugoki can chain into a heavy finisher or a guard break. Zone attack follow-up. After a zone attack, Shugoki can perform a heavy finisher or a headbutt using guard break. Demon's Embrace. A successful Demon's Embrace pins the target and deals 25 damage. It also heals the Shugoki for 20 health and fully replenishes his stamina. Unarmored Hug. While pinning his target on his shoulder, Shugoki does not have uninterruptible properties, therefore can be hit out of Demon's Embrace by attacks from both allies and enemies. Charge of the Yoni. Charge of the Yoni causes Shugoki to run forward with 66% increased speed, while losing control of his ability to turn, stop, or attack for the duration of the charge. Charge of the Yoni cancel. Charge the Oni can be cancelled by pressing the circle on PS4 midway. Charge the Oni stamina drain. Charge the Oni consumes stamina over time, so it takes less stamina if cancelled early. And finally, charge the Oni collision. Charge the Oni will knock aside anyone in the Shugoki's path, be it an ally or an enemy. And that's pretty much it about the Shugoki. Like I said, pretty much the way that I like to use him, as in the way that a lot of people like to use him, is I'm going to trade with my hyper armor, as well as I'm going to keep going into the Oni grab, keep healing you even if, or killing you and healing myself even if I don't need to get the health or not. Personally, I try to stay away from that type of playstyle with the Shugoki, because again, it gets repetitive, it gets boring for everyone else that's dealing with it. So I try to throw up a couple different things here and there, but for the most part, that is how I like to use the Shugoki. So if there's anything that I missed in this video, definitely leave a comment down below. As always, guys, I will see you in the next video.